Hello, and welcome to our giveaway live stream for the August 2023 session of Protospiel Online. Thank you again for joining us, Chris. And we have David, aka Will of Names, here to say hello at the beginning, and we'll be mostly in the background running the giveaway and everything. So thank you both for joining me. Are you having a good early September?
Always having a good early September.
Nope.
I feel like I just got all the good luck that David doesn't have.
Right.
So,
yes.
That's
them's the breaks sometimes.
That's all right.
Yeah. So, it's going pretty well. We got some fun stuff coming up in my world. And it's always fun to spend the afternoon talking to some up-and-coming game designers, really digging into the thought process, hearing about some of the great things that people are coming up with, because the games at Protospiel Online are always wild. There's always stuff that is completely surprising to me, and this one was no exception.
It's true. Well, we still at least have the mustard bottle to comfort ourselves in our early September.
You know, often in difficult times, I sit with a mustard bottle and just take comfort.
It's good to have a coping mechanism.
Right.
You know?
Some things stay consistent.
Yeah.
Right. But yes, thanks for being with us and taking care of the wheel. We'll be very excited to see how it turns out this time. And also playing some games with Chris again from Mall Night Long, from the Mall Night Long game pool.
From the Mall Night Long extended universe, yes.
Yeah.
We'll be playing some word games later. Some games where the rules have been tested, the specific clues untested. We'll see how it goes, but I think this is a clever group. You'll do just fine.
And we'll play that to give some prizes to live viewers. So. Yes. Or if they're the quickest, our guests. We'll see what happens.
There you go. Anything could happen.
Cool. I think so. Where is my schedule? Okay, so I think we're gonna do two things before we invite our first guest on. So we'll get to see the two types of games we're gonna do. One of them will be spinning the wheel of names, and then the other one will be Wads of Words, which is the game Chris is bringing.
So we'll see both examples right at the beginning.
We'll see both examples right at the beginning. Which one do y'all want to start with? We could do it in whatever order.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to you two. I have no preference.
Let's do the wheel first. Somebody has to be the person that says pepperoni pizza. I'm going to be that person.
Excellent.
We'll do the wheel, then we'll do the words.
Let's get the wheel up then. There's a lot of things that are happening. Here we go.
There we are.
There's
go.
The wheel.
I love that dense wheel. It's one of my favorite parts of this whole thing.
It's really jam-packed. So we're going to be spinning the wheel 4 times over the course of this. I think there were maybe 16 different names on here, but you see each of them is on here many, many times. So it looks way more crowded than it actually is. But what'll happen is we'll spin the wheel, announce who won it, and then that person, all the times their name repeats, will get removed.
So the more entries you won, the more like you earn during the event, the more likely you're gonna get your name drawn, but no promises.
No promises. We don't promise anything. Because when you promise things, that's when people get hurt and disappointed.
Just set a low bar. That's honestly with playtesting board games, that's kind of how you do it, right? It's like you go in knowing it's kind of broken, and then the experience is what you expect. So
that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So should we do it?
I
don't.
There we go.
This is the part. This is the part
where we get used to it. Okay.
Right. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa! There we go.
It's really heavy. I forget how heavy it is every time.
If I squint, I can read. Joshua Adams, congratulations! Thanks for being a great participant. You get a prize.
Yes, you don't have to be here live to get that prize. We'll get in touch with you. Yeah.
The prize for all of our wheel spins this time will be a $40 gift card for our shop to be used on a badge. So $40 will cover the full price of an early bird designer badge.
Or maybe a couple playtester badges.
Or a couple playtester badges. Do what you want.
I
We're
like
not
to
going to
come as
tell
a
you how to spend it. I'm not your mom.
And why not bring a friend? So
your friend,
absolutely.
for someone, an enemy, you could whoever you want to give it to. Like
maybe a frenemy.
Yeah,
literally anybody.
Yeah. So congratulations, Josh, and then Chris. Do you want to tell us about Wads of Words, and we can play that?
So we call it Wads of Words because it's one of the 7 stores that you visit in the game show experience called Mall Night Long. It is a virtual game show experience where you are in a mega mall going store to store playing different games. We'll talk more about the whole experience later, but we'll go ahead and put that right on the screen now, and we will head down this hall to Wads of Words. I'm just going to keep vamping until it comes up on the screen.
Yes. You are.
Never stop talking.
There it is.
There we go. All right. So we are ready to go. So let's go ahead and visit the Wads of Words bookstore. So this is the kind of place where you can get a great big latte. You can pick up any old book off the shelf that looks good. You can sit there and read all day if you want. And the books there are meticulously organized. Not only are all the titles in alphabetical order, but all the individual words inside the books are in alphabetical order. Let me show you what I mean. We're going to go ahead and do one, you and me together on the stream. This one does not count for a prize. We're just going to practice to teach you how the game is played. I'm going to show you a word that's been sorted into alphabetical order like this. And then I'm going to give you a crossword style clue as to what that word is. So if I were to say it's meaningless, what would you say that this word is? It's meaningless.
I would.
I'm going to slow down on that clue. It's meaningless.
This is the part of the live stream every time where we find out that I don't know how to read.
Right.
So
theoretically, fewer is correct.
Fewer.
Meaningless. There we go.
I don't get the dad joke, but I found the word.
Fewer, a word which is literally meaningless. So that's how you play the game. You look at the word on the screen. You try to unscramble the word based on the crossword style clue that I give you. And the way that this one's going to work is the first person to enter the correct answer in the chat will take away the prize. And what's that prize going to be this time?
This time it will be a People Make the Playtest vinyl sticker of your choice from our shop. They look like that.
Just like
that one.
This amazing berry-colored shirt that I'm wearing that I love.
There's
very,
like a
very
whole
much.
bunch of them. Pick whichever one you want.
Yeah, there's one other design too. You can't quite see on the screen right now, but yeah, there's 2 options.
There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the clue. The first person to put the correct answer in the chat is going to be the winner. If we have a bit of a delay where people can't figure it out, I'll start to spell the word one letter at a time until someone gets it. So our first word is an 8-letter word. The clue is they're known to clap back.
Wow.
They're known to clap back. All right, so take some time to think about the clue. They're known to clap back. And Dino Corgi in the chat gets audience. Congratulations on a quick solve for our first of 3 words today. They're known to clap back. Well done. That's word number 1. We'll do word number 2 a little bit later. Word number 3 at the very end. So
very good. And as the audience, Jack is taking care of clapping. Thank you.
There you go. Congratulations. He's clapping back. So
wonderful. Well, with that, we are now ready to bring on our first guest, Derwent. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. I see it. All right. He's ready. Here we go. I'm going to go away. Derwent's going to come back. We'll make...
Bye-bye, David.
Wads of Words go away. And here we go.
It's Derwent. Hello. I say your name. I put the emphasis on your name opposite of David. I'm never sure which of us is right.
I haven't really noticed.
it must not be important then. He says Derwent, and I say Derwent. That's what I mean.
I mean, they're close enough.
Fair enough.
Now, is that a universal, or is there one correct way to say that?
I just say Derwent, so
Perfect. Derwent.
Okay.
We'll go with that. Excellent.
Ooh.
There you are. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I was talking just before we came on the stream that I've thought we've had you before, but I think I'm wrong because we've had you on the Wheel of Names very consistently. You
I
are
feel like you might be the biggest winner
yeah.
of them all, too.
It's true. It might be like you're a guest this time. Maybe this will be the first time you don't win a prize because there's more people who participated this time. We'll see what happens. It'll be a nail biter. The WR makes the D-rent. What language is that from? Maybe it's just a made-up language from Jack. But yeah, you're a very avid bingo player, I think. You get a lot of those entries in. And you might be one of our few avid secret identities players. You get in on that action every time, I think.
Yeah. Although this time I had a little bit of trouble remembering to ask people for them. So yeah.
I also the last two times I paid attention to that, and this time I think I was just really taken by the games. Like I was very swept away with the games I was playing. I played a lot of really good games this time, so I kind of forgot to think about secret identities. So what about you? How did your I mean, you can talk about general Protospiel experience, but also this most recent one, like what were you testing and what did you get to play that was most memorable?
So I was testing A Taste for the King, which is the bluffing sort of push your lucky game at a medieval feast. And I played too many games. So a couple of my favorites were Rainbow Things by Jamie Sabriel. That was very fun because you're drafting to try and build up this sort of strategy, and then everyone else is sort of counter strategizing, and everything just sort of falls apart at the end, which is very fun.
Okay.
And then I got to play Fruitful by James Bishop. That was really fun because all the trees are really different, and the way the bits fit together was really nice.
I got to play that one too.
Yeah.
And it definitely felt like I got to play that one. I managed to get in on one, yeah.
And then I also played Diadochi by Luciano Casamaggio.
Okay.
I hope that was how pronounced correctly. And that's a really interesting sort of area control kind of strategy game, but the strategy is really short. So I think you only have something like 3 or 4 cards per player before the strategy sort of happens.
Okay.
And yeah, that was a really interesting, like sort of a pocket game, I think was the aim. That was just, really fun.
Okay. Yeah, like like 18 cards or around there, like not very many components when you say pocket game. Yeah.
I think it was 36 cards, I think.
Yeah, but still very doable.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now, I had the pleasure of playing the game that you brought, and I was pretty taken with the design of it. I think our audience would certainly love to hear the inspiration behind it and what are sort of the key sort of elevator pitch facts about this game.
Okay. So the inspiration for it was I was watching a Netflix show while thinking up something for the small box game design challenge on GameCrafter.
Okay.
And there just happened to be a scene with a taste tester, and I thought, that'd be an interesting thing where you sort of the taste tester got a little bit greedy and just sort of started eating the person's food, and they had to be stopped. And I just thought that'd be a really fun sort of thing to try and emulate in a card game. Started off as sort of a zombie dice kind of thing, and then quickly morphed into more of a card game. And then it started off pretty much as just a pure push your luck game, and then there was fun to be had with that, but there was a lot of downtime, and I was just trying to sort of push it further and further more towards less downtime. And that's where we've sort of ended up with this sort of partial bluffing, partial push your luck thing. And then to sort of give people a reason to listen, they can then they sort of counter poison people. And that was the general idea.
Are you hoping to self-publish this? I've seen kind of on your Twitter, or no, your Twitch. I mean, it starts with the same few letters, so you can forgive me for that. But on your Twitch, you've got like a banner that says it's coming soon. Are you planning to publish it under your own brand?
Yeah. So I'm hoping to run a Kickstarter sort of early, middle next year.
Awesome.
Just sort of tweaking the last little bits, and then hoping to get in contact with some artists to sort of just get it that little bit more polished, and then hopefully do a small run Kickstarter with it and see what happens from there.
Yeah.
That's the general idea.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn with Kickstarter, so it's nice when it can be a simple component game. Not everybody goes that way, of course. And I suppose that's a good moment, I think, just to call out. Lately, we've been having a lot of people in our community self-publish and succeed on Kickstarter. It's been so fun to see that. And I guess I'll tip my hand a little bit and say I kind of extra love it when that happens compared to when they find a publisher. That's fun. That's always really fun too, especially when it goes well. But the possibility of more to come that comes out of like having your own brand, learning how to do a Kickstarter, gets me really excited for people in our community, for sure.
Absolutely. You get to see some of those ideas that, maybe somebody with more risk might not take that same chance on. And that's where some really fun, creative stuff comes out. What I loved about this game in particular was just the sort of social dynamic that's created that emerges out of the way that the person who's actively has the turn doesn't know what the cards are. Everybody else does. And so you have to decide who you're going to listen to. There's a little bit of negotiation saying, like, if you give me this, then I'll tell you the true information, that sort of thing. So it's doing some things that I haven't seen in other games, or if I have, presenting them in a new and fresh and unique way. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I also just want to say, while you're here with us, Derwin, I love your energy. You're just such a sweetheart. You're great to play test with, to have like with me when I'm playtesting somebody else's game, and the feedback you give is always just very, kind and measured and helpful. So we really love having you around. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's just a love fest in here, for sure. So, any other like stories you'd like to tell? We have just about a minute left. If you have any other things to share before we do the next game.
So another game I really liked was Stream by Brian and Emily. And that's sort of it's a word, sort of Scrabble style word game.
Wow, I didn't even see that one. Okay.
But you have to you pick a section of the previous word to try and build another word on.
Okay. Not necessarily the beginning or end, but just some sequence of letters.
It has to be the end, but you can pick as far back into the word as you want. So if you did human, you could use the whole of it to make humanity and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then maybe next one would be TY, and then you could something about that. And you build your score based on doubling the size of the word that you've built on. But there was a really fun moment where a part of it, you guess what the other person is going to write, and I managed to successfully guess what the opponent was going to write, and that was quite fun. Just a little thing to.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, that sounds like a great way to makes the turns more simultaneous in a game like that. That's a fun idea. Keep everybody involved more.
Absolutely, because like in a Scrabble, you can work on your stuff between turns, but then sometimes somebody makes a play and it just scraps your whole plan because they've taken whatever spot you needed. So I like how that maybe mitigates that a little bit.
Yeah, very good. All right. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Let's we're gonna spin the wheel names. We're gonna do it again. So this will be again for a $40 Protospiel Online gift card. On the count of 3, let's spin it. 1, 2, 3.
I have to preload on ibuprofen
Yeah,
and
Chris,
Tylenol
you gotta
before these.
I'm worried. I'm
Get
worried
through it.
you're gonna hurt yourself. When
I definitely am.
Oh no!
That was a great moment. That was the best moment of the Wheel of Name games ever in the history of Wheel of Name.
Unreal.
That is amazing.
I mean, how many entries did Derwent have, though?
I would have to look. It was a lot. Let me see. Yeah, I could try and find it quickly and like say it
Engage,
on the
get
next time
involved.
I'm on.
That's what you got to do.
It was many times. I think like Derwent consistently is able to attend for free because he just keeps playing the games, which is great. Because
A few more, and it's just an automatic lifetime membership.
Yeah, seriously,
Right?
for real.
What I am like left in the dark about this comment. I don't know what this means. Am I the only one?
Yeah.
It means he is an elite hacker, as they would say.
Yes.
Oh,
in the
okay.
1990s and 2000s.
Yes.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Derwent, do you want to tell us about like where we can find you on the internet, various links and things? I did see one of the things you submitted was the link for the Kickstarter for Taste for the King, so we can get that up.
And you're doing the savvy thing and having a link tree that you can add to and remove from, and whatever is most important will be there, which is great too.
Basically Drentsoft Games at Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, pretty much anywhere.
And we might indoctrinate you into Bluesky. We can talk later.
If you've got an invite, I'll happily take one.
yeah. It's a slow process right now.
Yeah. I got you, fam. It's all good.
Yeah. Oh, now I understand, Jack. Thanks.
It's okay, Heather. We're gonna get you a nice internet connection, and we can get you super online.
We'll get you up to a 56K modem here.
That is one of the most hilarious things about like this is the inside joke amongst myself and a lot of my friends and team members that I'm a very online business oriented person, but I don't live online, such that I get all these memes. Or memes and jokes and yeah. I don't know.
That's great.
My 8-year-old just introduced me to Spooder Man yesterday, and so I'm a little bit behind myself.
You're riding high.
Yeah.
There's so many things to keep up with, so I think we all are a little bit behind in something, right?
Should we say goodbye and invite our next guest on?
We're ready. Yep.
It is time. It is
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
UK, late night.
Congratulations.
Always appreciate.
So Derwent and I are going to go away, and then next guest will come up. We'll see you all for the next game. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we go.
The shuffle.
Love that live stream shuffle.
Hello. Dario, right? Am I pronouncing that one right? Or tell me again
tonight,
if I'm...
I think, you have some, issues with the names. First Darwin and then Daria.
Yes.
How are you all?
Great. How are you doing? Where are you joining us from?
Everything's fine. I am joining you from Istanbul, Turkey, as usual.
Yes. Yeah, that's... I think you might be our first person from Turkey to attend Protospiel Online, so that's...
I guess so.
Really awesome to have that new culture represented among us for sure. Are you? I'm kind of putting you on the spot. I didn't ever ask you this before, but you're born in Turkey, right?
Yeah,
Originally,
exactly.
yeah. Okay, very good.
And still here.
Right, for the time being, yes, and we'll still take you even if you're from another country. We'll be happy if your home base changes. That is fine by us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but well, one thing I'll call out is that this was your first time attending and bringing your own game to Protospiel Online, even though it wasn't the first time you've attended Protospiel Online. And I
Yes.
managed to actually get to playtest with you for your very first time playtesting your game with Protospiel. So how did that go?
Yeah, I was so happy that you were part of it because, it was my first time. It went very well. I think, Protospiel is a great place to test your games because, it's a very friendly and welcoming environment. People give a lot of feedback, but, it's always constructive feedback. So I took advantage of that. I did some changes right after the playtest, and especially, I got a great feedback from Sabrina about the player's movement. So that changed everything. That helped me to solve some issues, some core issues with the game. So I was pretty nervous in the beginning and excited. And at the end of the playtest, I was very happy to get all your feedback and also some, nice comments about the theme of the game, about the general feeling. So it was I would say, like the best moment of the Protospiel for me in August.
That's great to hear. Very good. Yes, well, and you should tell us a little bit about, in your own words, tell us kind of what your game is. So I won't, unless you want me to do it. I'll actually let you decide. Do you want to do it, or do you want to hear like another person's perspective on it again?
Actually, I would like to hear just to see, what do you remember of it? Because
Right.
it's also important,
Yeah, and it's been pretty recently, like about 2 weeks ago, but it was called Grandma's Pie, and you play as up to four cousins / siblings that are hang gliding out over a landscape that Grandma lives on the edge of to collect berries for Grandma to put in the pie. And you're trying to get, I think what surprised all of us the most about it is that we only get 4 berries the whole time. We have a hand limit of 4, and we can never discard a card. So that's what we're gonna get. And yeah, and hang gliding mixed with making a pie.
Yeah, we talked earlier about trying some wild ideas.
Yeah.
And that's a great example
Right.
of something where you just swing for the fences and go for it with this stuff.
Right. And once and then you're kind of like, is that going to work? When that seems so weird and unrelatable. I guess, like, I don't know. I cannot imagine myself in that situation. But then once I was doing it, it totally made sense. And now I got to live that experience where I'm a hang gliding child who has a grandma who bakes great pies, traveling around in nature, picking from berry bushes. So, yeah, that's mostly what I remember as far as, the way I would pitch the game. I expect that all the stuff I just said probably won't change, even as you adjust some of the mechanics. I wouldn't be surprised if that stuff sticks.
Yes, some of them changed for sure. And the catch is always there. There's a storm coming and you have to be back home on time. So the core feeling of the game is still there, but I did some tweaks with the movement mechanic and also with the hand size. So you will be able to collect more next time.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I could go either way on that. We were all surprised by it, which sometimes when you hear that feedback, like everyone is like, this is non-intuitive. This is not what I'm used to with board games. But sometimes that's a good thing, right? We were just playing, many people may have heard of Bonanza here. It's a kind of old standby. It's been around for a really long time. I was just teaching some new people that this weekend, and it's one of those games that bunch of things about the card handling is completely different than every other, like people who are new to hobby games, but they've played Go Fish and Old Maid and Crazy Eights. You're telling them all these rules about you can't rearrange your hand, and that's really unintuitive to them. And you're saying, no. But this game helps convert a lot of people into liking hobby games. They like it once they try it, you know? So it's not necessarily a bad thing if it's weird all the time. Yeah. But what else? And you've done a ton of play testing. I think you actually only tested your game that one time. You were like, I got enough information. I didn't see you do it again.
Yes.
So you played a lot of other games too this time.
You know, I thought I played a lot until I saw your post that, you know, you played 20. So I could only play 10. I think it was okay, you know.
Yes. That's high for a designer attending, for sure. Yeah. I'm just not bringing anything to test of my own. So.
And I had some favorites I could mention here. You know, Matty Schroeder's had Oops All Bangers. It was very interesting because, you know, I like music. I listen to music every day. I, you know, make playlists. So this game was about, you know, making playlists. And it was very interesting, you know, a great theme for me.
I'm writing that one down because that one is speaking to me very directly, just based on the few words that you said.
Yeah. And I am looking forward to the next iteration. It has a lot of potential. Another one, like Darwin said, James Bishop's Fruitful. I think it was nearly ready to, you know, to pitch to publishers. The mechanics are very thematic, and okay, there wasn't much interaction, but I don't mind that kind of games. You don't have to interact all the time. So the theme and the mechanics matched in a, you know, great way. And when, you know, James asked us at the end of the playtest, do you think is it ready to pitch to publishers? It was, you know, immediately 3 yeses from from the judges. You know,
Right.
like this America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even think of that. I think I must have been there too. Were you playing with me and Jonathan Schaffer and?
No, we were.
Oh, well, then the same thing happened in ours. Different group. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
That's a good sign. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
I think it was me, Emily, Vincent, and Roger. I think maybe Gary. I don't remember exactly, but all of us, we said, yeah, it's, you know, ready to pitch. And the third one was from Emily, Pirates of the High Teas. I even love the game and love the name. The game was, you know, it was flowing, and it was about, you know, collecting some resources and fulfilling some contracts. I had a lot of fun with that one. And one of the games, you know, I had fun was Joe Cal's Predict. Because, you know, we were there together during that playtest, and yeah, I think we were like 6 or 7, something like that. And at the beginning, you know, I made some bad moves because, you know, my auditive learning process is a little bit slow. I have to, you know, do some stuff like, you know, hands-on learning. So I I said, I wanted to show you how not to play this game.
And then you won.
But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that was one of the best moments of Protospiel for me last time.
Awesome.
So yeah,
that's
I had
Wow.
I had a lot of fun.
That's a
Sorry.
pretty beefy lineup of fun moments. So awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I hate to interrupt, but it is time for the next game.
The wheel.
Well, unfortunately, this is not. Well, not unfortunately, because we do love Wads of Words, but it is not the wheel this time. We are jumping back to Wads of Words. This time will be for a snail mail mystery gift. If you want something that we're going to send you something in the mail. We're not going to tell you what it is.
My favorite kind of gift is the surprise gift. You're not going to know what you get until you get it.
Mhm.
Could be great, could be less than great. Only way to find out is to try to win.
I've learned about this hashtag Happy Mail, and I think I need to get on board with that. Like getting something in the mail that you actually want. Go figure.
Yeah.
Non-junk mail.
All right, so same rules apply as before. I'm going to go ahead and show you a word that's been sorted into alphabetical order. I'm going to give you a crossword style clue. The first person to put the correct answer as to what the word is in the chat will get hashtag Happy Mail, a snail mail surprise gift. If nobody gets it, then we'll start spelling the word out until somebody actually locks it in. This next one is an 8-letter word. The clue is...
Can Daria play in the chat?
I would say so, yes.
Okay.
The clue is they're always throwing up. They're always throwing up. Take a moment, look at those letters, and see what the clue, they're always throwing up, tells you about this one. Type it into the chat if you think you've got it. And Derwent has it. It's jugglers are always throwing up. Congratulations. 2 prizes for the winningest Protospiel attendee.
The winningest winner.
That's right.
Derwent also, this prize, just so we can mention it real quick, we play Shout Out a Palooza also at Protospiel Online, and that's for this prize. That's the other way you can get this prize. And Derwent is committed to winning these prizes.
I also feel good about keeping
that,
coming back too, because I now know Derwent's proper name. I'm not just saying Dretsoft wins.
Right.
So, it's a community. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Good going. Oh, and are we ready to share your links?
Yeah. Daria, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Facebook. If you just write Daria Chebi, you will definitely find me. I am on many Facebook groups related to board games. I don't have a personal website yet, but I am planning to launch a Kickstarter in a couple of months. So then I think I will have some accounts and website about the games.
Very good. Awesome. Yeah, we'll probably share that on Facebook when you're ready, right? Awesome. Very good. Well, thank you for joining us in your late night time.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. We'll see you later. We'll both go away, and then guest number 3 will come on.
Ooh, mystery guest.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, there we go. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. No technical difficulties. What a miracle.
It's true. It is a miracle when that happens. Absolutely. So this is Adam's. Wait a minute. I'm Sanabia. Whoa. Do I read your name wrong every single time I read it in my brain?
Everyone reads. I'm not convinced that my name has a proper pronunciation. I don't think there is one. My family says
when I read it for some reason.
My family says Sanabia, but I don't even know if they're telling me the truth.
Awesome. Well, thank you it's good to hear that out loud so I can remember in future. Thank you. You've been coming for quite some time, I feel like.
I think was only last August that I started joining Protospiel. But since then, I have joined every time I have the opportunity to, because it's such a good time. There's something that's like sacred now about Protospiel weekend, where, you know, assuming I go to a lot of like conventions and stuff, so assuming I'm not out of town, I love just blocking off the weekend to be like, I'm gonna sit in my chair and play board games from Friday to the end of Sunday, and it's such a great time.
Me, same. I do that. Obviously, I wouldn't get 20 games in if I didn't do that. Yes.
Be a little difficult.
Well, that's one of the things I love about it, is the flexibility that, because I'm always the opposite. Like, I can carve out like one night from dinner time until bedtime. That's all the time I can usually spend, and yet I still feel like it's a great value for the money, especially as a playtester, which is a little less expensive. I always get a couple of good games in, and I always have a good time. But the fact that you can basically stop in any time for those few days is fantastic.
Yeah, I think I would make the same point. Like, one of the things that I love the most about Protospiel is how accessible it is. It is such a nice open door for whatever level of designer you are, or if you just want to be a playtester, and as much time as you want, or as much or as little time as you want to devote for the weekend. It's such a good time. I can't think of any reason not to go. Especially for aspiring designers.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that, because my experience before Protospiel Online existed with conventions was that Protospiel itself felt more approachable than something like Unpub, because of the you don't need to be nobody's expecting you to be at a certain level.
Right, you show up with paper and bits of string, and people are happy to just workshop what this could be.
And totally excited about it.
Exactly,
like, not even judging it. Yes.
It's just a bunch of nerds in a Discord talking about game design at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, and I mean it. I think it's partially because you're not assigned a time and a spot. There's lower pressure, and so although like I have been at Unpub playing a really early design, it's allowed, but I think most people who do that are super comfortable there and they've been there before. But like the new person might feel kind of intimidated to do that because of my name on this table, expectations of me kind of thing. Yeah.
I think that low pressure point that was kind of one of the biggest things for me when I started joining Protospiel. Was the first Protospiel I joined, which was I believe it was August of 2022. I had met a friend. I had made a new friend at PAX East that year, which I'd never gone to before, and he pulled out this little deck of cards for a game he'd been working on, and I was like, whoa, you have a physical deck of cards for a game that hasn't been made yet. And it was like, that's the link. That's how you go from silly idea that I have to making something that's real. Is you print out a dinky little deck of cards and you bring it to a convention. But Protospiel lets you do that, or Protospiel Online lets you do that from anywhere. So he convinced me to join, and then I had a game that I had been working on for a while. And I was super embarrassed to present it. And I think this afflicts a lot of new, like, first-time designers, is like, even if you have something that you worked really hard on, it's not going to look professional. You're going to feel probably some level of embarrassment about putting it in front of other people. And definitely that hit me really hard. I probably would have gone the whole weekend without ever asking anybody to prototype or to play test it, but since he's not around right now, David, I had a conversation with him while it was just the two of us sitting in. I don't remember if it was coffee talk or if it was just a slow time in LFG, but he asked me like how my first Protospiel was going. And I mentioned that I had a game, but I hadn't worked up the courage to ask anyone to play test it yet. And we started talking about life and dreams and such as you do at 11 p.m. on Saturday night or whatever it was. And like he gave me such good encouragement to actually have that game play tested without making me feel pressured to do so, that it did help me overcome that initial fear of putting my game in front of anyone. And I had ended up having a good play test that had really good feedback. That game unfortunately is shelved right now because I couldn't figure out what to do with it next, but it was still a great experience, and I really appreciated how everyone worked to help me feel like I could play test my game safely without fear, but also without pressure. So
absolutely,
really
there's such
appreciated
value in that held space for that, right? Among people who get it, who have had their own games, which you know, have had their own flaws and issues that have needed to be worked through. And it's much different than going to like a convention and trying to convince people who to spend their valuable convention time helping you out, right? That dedicated space means a lot, and you can get a lot of work done that way.
Yeah, the only games available to play are the prototypes at Protospiel.
Right.
So
I don't
we're
even
not gonna have
play
any games to
finished
play other way.
anymore. I only play games in development now. I don't even play finished games. Those are boring. I want to see the raw stuff before it's done, so I can talk game design with people.
Like somebody who only likes a band's early album is like,
Exactly.
this new one's too digital, man. It's
I'm that hipster.
Yeah, you know, and that's another thing too about Protospiel that I think makes it feel a little different than some other places is I do love it when somebody wants to publish their game and they get it out there. I'm so happy for them. It's fun to celebrate together that. But I am also really fine with this is just our secret little game that we get to play when we're together. And there really is no I hope people don't feel pressure to publish if they don't want to. It's like whatever you want your path to be, we want to help you walk that path. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really awesome. But it's also very rewarding when you do get to see someone kind of make that transition from being more of a hobbyist to more of a professional. If I could call someone out, probably the biggest inspiration in our community to me is Jamie Sabriel.
Okay.
Hopefully I pronounced their name right. No Protospiel is complete if I don't get my Jamie game in. I have to play a Jamie game or I'm not done with Protospiel yet. Sorry, cat. They have just the exact like game design style that I really love, where it's like simple but deep. It has a simplicity that sort of belies the incredible amount of math and balancing that has gone into it. The first game I played of theirs, Fight Club,
Fight Sequence, the game about thinking about fighting.
Yes, exactly.
Opposite ethos.
We don't talk about Fight Sequence just like blew my mind, and I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait for it to hit print because that's what's happening. And just in like the year that I've been at Protospiel, I have gotten to watch Jamie go from like a more of like a hobbyist designer to now their new sort of life as a more professional game designer, having several games signed now. And we played Rainbow Things at this past Protospiel, which was a great time. And so I'm just super excited every time they think of something new. I'm like, get me in there. Let me play test that.
Oh yeah.
+1 to all those things, plus between Jamie and Emily flying the New England flag in a way that the game design community doesn't have a ton of. So those from the frozen north who do this always get my respect. So
yeah, Boston area folks there for sure. And yeah, Rainbow Things is a brand new idea. I think it was tested for the first time at this most recent one, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I can't promise Jamie will be at every single Protospiel Online. Although Jamie being part of our team, our mod team helps with that being more likely. But also when people get, you said like you go to a lot of cons, people when they have jobs in the industry are even more likely to go to a lot of cons. And boy, there are so many of them, so it can be hard to make sure Protospiel Online isn't happening at super close to or at the same time as especially smaller local ones and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, Jack will promise.
By the way, I love how the emojis in the chat just get spelled out in words.
Right.
And that has not stopped anybody from using those. And I'm here for it. That's
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Are y'all ready for some wheel of names?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Oh my god, let's do it.
Do I need to help spin?
Yes, if you're able to, it's
right.
getting lighter, but it's still pretty heavy. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna get you some gloves, Chris, and like a back brace.
Mm-hmm.
Some icy hot would be good. Sabrina. Congratulations!
Sabrina. And Sabrina is not. I know Sabrina's not in the chat right now because would have come and talked to us except for a schedule conflict. But we were very happy to have Sabrina as a sponsor for the first time. And actually, that reminds me that we need to say hi to our sponsors before we close out. That's like new this time, and we kind of we forgot to add it to the schedule. So we'll get it in this time, and then we'll be ready next time. Yeah. Yes. And also was part of that. Daria mentioned that she was part of that really helpful playtest. So she was around helping us playtest. That was wonderful.
Wonderful. That's yeah. So Sabrina has a gift card coming her way, and that's all I got. That's all I got. So, Adam, where can we find you on the internet if one was to try to do that?
It would be rather difficult. But I do technically have a Twitter. It's decoydev, twitter.com/decoydev until it becomes X or whatever.
For as long as you can still access Twitter.
Yeah. I don't do much on it. It mostly just has some mods that I made for a PC game that I like. But maybe I'll get back into using it once I have something more substantial to put on there. Post this past Protospiel, I'm working on a new project. I wasn't going to, and then people liked it, and then I was like, all right, I guess I'll keep working on it. So maybe I'll start to use it some more.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then you also shared your LinkedIn too.
I do have a LinkedIn too. If anybody is looking for someone with enterprise software engineering experience that is not in enterprise software, I would really love to work on things that are fun instead of making giant companies more money.
Hey.
Sold.
Excellent. Yeah, please.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
God, why does it keep focusing on me? There we go.
Maybe you should focus on you.
I'm
just gonna put that out there.
Oh,
it's a sign.
I definitely need to focus on me. That is what a you bet. Chris, what the hell is All Night Long?
All right, let's talk about it. So, I think All Night Long. So this is the part of the show that everybody waits for because they get the little dance break It's a virtual game show that you can play over Zoom. It is a program that I've been running for the past couple of years. It is a game in which you and your friends get together, and I take you through a program where you are on a television game show, going store to store in a retro mega mall, playing 7 different games. There's word games. There's a name that tune. There is Tribon style game. There's Price is Right style games. All kinds of different things, as well as a big push your luck finale at the end. And I've been doing this virtually for a couple of years, but I'm actually have a couple of in-person shows coming up soon, which you are unlikely to be anywhere near, but I'll tell you about them anyway. So here in Bangor, I am performing at Some Theater Company. That's the name of the space, is Some Theater Company. They do a lot of things like Evil Dead the Musical and Little Shop of Horrors, and they have agreed to open their doors for me this Friday night. So we'll be doing an in-person show at an actual mall this coming week. And then a week after that, I am very, very humbled and lucky to have been invited to the World Series of Board Gaming in Las Vegas. And I'm going to be performing an after-hours event there on, I believe, the first night of the show on Sunday night. And so after everybody gets done playing in the tournament for the day, they can come and join me in freaking Las Vegas. I still haven't gotten my arms around it, but we're going to be doing a live in-person show there. So chances are you can't make it to either of those. If you don't have your tickets for World Series of Board Gaming, you've got like seconds left to get them. Flying to Bangor, probably not in reach for most of you, but I will announce on this show right now that if you're interested in playing the game set that I'm bringing to both of those shows, it is now, as of this moment, immediately available for private booking. So the way that it works is you shoot me an email. There's no special website or anything like that. It normally costs $75, but if you mention this live stream, I'll do it for $60, and that's all inclusive, no matter how many players you have coming with you. And we will send you a Zoom link, and we will make the thing happen. It's 2 hours, 2 to 12 players, and it is a great time. In fact, some of the folks on this, watching this, may have been in the recent playtest that we did in the Building the Game Discord, which was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. So maybe we should take a look at a short video just to give you a sense of the look and feel of it. And
literally
take our
all I've ever wanted.
Our little dance break here. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope.
Nope. Cool.
Okay, I just love how the slide from last year's Halloween show was still sitting in the still store. So
No.
if you're watching at home, it's just for 1 second the Grim Reaper coming out of your screen and then going away.
It's pretty good. But you weren't expecting a jump scare.
Nope. If you want to play last year's Halloween show too, I'll run that one for you too. That's there's 5 different game sets available, and I gotta update that video because those 2 emails are still good. You can still use them, but you can also reach me at playmallnightlong@gmail.com. Once again, playmallnightlong@gmail. Or if you're in the Protospiel Discord, and I suspect most of you are, you absolutely have my permission to send me a direct message there. I am Flip the Table Chris or Chris Michaud, however you want to find it. So however you want to get a hold of me, we'll do the thing. We'll have some fun. And thank you as always for letting me share this weird side project I've been doing for a while. Appreciate it.
I'm going to make it visible to everybody. playmallnightlong@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Okay.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
There you go.
All right. Excellent. And the other ones, if you happen to have written those down, I won't turn you away. It's all good.
And I can be a testimonial for your games. I played the Halloween one. It was awesome. And it's fun that you can do, Halloween in April, like Christmas
That's
in
right,
July.
all year long. I'm not going to say no to a gig. It's, if you want Halloween in July, that's fine by me. And frankly, I'm here for the start of the Halloween season in mid-August. I know some people aren't. But when the pumpkin spice begins to flow and the Spirit Halloween stores open up, I am here for it. I actually did order my copy of Spirit Halloween Monopoly, which should be delivering tomorrow.
Whoa.
Yeah, the railroads are vacant storefronts. And
Yes.
so like an empty electronics store and an empty toy store. And that was enough for me to get on board.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
David's like shopping list.
Well,
yeah.
no, I do sort of feel like all of the spots should have been vacant storefronts.
Mhm.
If I was giving playtesting feedback, then that's the feedback that I would give is why aren't
Right.
all of these businesses that have been hollowed out by venture capital companies,
Yeah.
you just take over. It almost got me thinking about, like, if I were to make a game about being a Halloween store company, like, would you haunt places to drive them out of business and then take them over? It got my wheels turning a little bit. But say someday when this project dies, and it eventually will, I'll get to work on that. So
I hope not. I love it. You're an awesome game show host. Like, it was
I
made
appreciate
for you. Yeah. Or you made it for yourself. You picked wisely, I think, project.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good to hear that it hasn't been a complete waste of time. So, I'm going to Vegas, so I mean, it must have worked out somehow.
Yeah.
So that's fun. If you do happen to be going to Vegas, let me know, and we'll say hello while I'm there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Where is it happening again in Vegas?
The World Series of Board Gaming,
That's
which is
right.
at the
That's right.
Horseshoe. That is not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, and then throughout the week, there is a big board game tournament happening, which I am not entering because I'm going to enter one side event and that's it. But if you want to learn the rules to 16 other games, you can really dive deep and go crazy with it. And there's a big prize available if you do. So
it's like it's a big cost to get into it, but you'll win a lot of money if you end up winning all the games. Yeah.
Right.
Or you get to the finals.
Right. And there is open gaming, and I'll be spending a lot of time there.
Yeah. Is the Horseshoe like an off strip? Is that what you said? The Horseshoe is an off strip?
I think it's on the strip. I
Oh,
think
okay.
it's right in the middle of downtown. I'm not super familiar with Vegas. This will be my first, possibly last trip. We'll see how this show goes.
I've been there a couple times and never heard of that casino, so I'm like, oh, okay.
They might have changed their name recently or something.
Been a while too, so yeah. Awesome. Are we playing Wads of Words now?
We are going to play Wads of Words, yeah.
All right, we got one more. And this is one of the 7 rounds in the Big Mall Night Long special. But it's not the only thing that's available. So the only way to find out.
And this time, folks are competing for a Protospiel Online t-shirt, which I'm not wearing because I don't know where most of my clothes are right now.
If you win, send one to David.
Yeah. I've got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Testimonial here, and of course your mileage may vary, right? But a lot of my medium shirts are starting to feel like medium shirts. I don't know if that's my shirts shrinking or me exceeding my shirts, but my Protospiel shirt is still in good shape and is still very, very comfortable. So
very good. Yes, and there are people make the play test in either the big meeple or the little meeple, which is the one that David has, but he's not wearing it right now. Oh well.
Look, if someone wants to come over here and help me find it, they're welcome to.
It's like dark in here, but it's like up there. Ooh, you can just barely see it. It's hiding in the corner.
It's a hidden object game.
All right.
All right, let's do the
Amazing.
thing.
Yes, let's do the thing. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that I'm in charge of making that happen. There we go.
One more time. We will put a word where the letters have been sorted into alphabetical order. I'll give you a crossword style clue. First person to put the correct answer in the chat is the winner of that amazing t-shirt. If nobody gets it in a minute, we'll start spelling it out until somebody figures it out. Our last word is 9 letters. The clue is people sometimes mix them at parties. People sometimes mix them at parties. A couple people jumping in late. People sometimes mix them at parties. If you can solve this one, you can get not quite a good try. Somebody guessed atmosphere. That is not the answer. People sometimes mix them at parties. I will tell you that the first letter. There we go. K Willow 7 gets metaphors. People sometimes mix them at parties. Derwent guests prawn toast, which
I think that actually might be right. I often do mix my prawn toast at parties with. It's often a mistake, but I do, and sometimes it works out.
And I want to say hi to a new visitor. I'm sorry, your emojis look like words in our chat. It's great to have you, Fan Angel. You're our Twitch friend. We just haven't seen you in our chat before, so great to have you. Thanks for popping in. And yes, and congratulations to Kirsten. Good job. You get a T-shirt. I actually don't know if you have one yet, so that's perfect. Kirsten has one. We're and perfect timing. We're about to talk to you, so we'll chat. Yeah,
it's true. I realized that I sent the links out to everybody except Kirsten.
Oh,
so she has the link now, but like. Someday I'm gonna stick the landing on this. I'm gonna do every single part of this correctly. Instead of like 98%.
If it isn't a little broken, is it even working?
That's right. Well, and we tag team it a little bit, and I also we only do it 3 times a year, and we forget little things like, oh yeah, it's better if it goes more smoothly if we say this and do this.
Right.
Remember to do that.
Or send the guests the link. Like it goes really smoothly when you tell people how to join.
It's true.
We should. Kirsten, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up in the thing. We can get you up and running if you're feeling ready for it. But yeah, thank you, Chris, for being here and showing all the all night long things and playing Wads of Words with us. Let's get Kirsten on, and we'll see if we'll see how it goes.
There we are.
Am I here?
You're here.
Yeah. I'm so excited. And I'm so excited about a t-shirt. I do have one, but it's needing replacement.
Okay.
Or
awesome.
Or a friend. Like I need more.
Yeah.
You should be like a superhero and just have like a dozen of them in the closet. Just the same thing every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yay. One for every day of the week would be perfect.
I get a lot of samples, right? I'll send the sample to myself to make sure it's right. So I have a lot of them because of that.
I love it.
Yes. And you're another person who I'm kind of shocked. I don't think you've ever been a guest before, but you've been a moderator, I think, every time since the beginning in 2020, right?
Except not the very first, the test one.
Yeah.
The very, very first one. It was severe lockdown here. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a new computer here in New Zealand, so
right.
I couldn't. You kindly invited me, but I couldn't. I did not have the equipment.
Well, we actually didn't have real moderators at the very first invitational one. So
you invited me to participate. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, since we've had moderators, you've been one of our moderators.
I'm one of the first. Give me my little crown.
Yeah. Yes. And it's super helpful. You're one of our kind of special moderators because you're in New Zealand, like you said. So you help us get through the evening with all the international peeps. And right next to your head, we see the big news you have to share too.
Yeah.
Which is your Kickstarter.
Ovation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ovation went really well. I'm really thrilled, and thank you for putting it in the newsletter and to everyone who's been so supportive all of the many times I brought it to Protospiel Online. And then of the campaign as well, of course. Over 300% funded.
Congratulations. That's a great success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and it's you made a company, and it's your company's first Kickstarter too. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I think the wisdom that I had heard many times of starting with something smaller, like just a card game, I think that's brilliant advice.
Yeah. Yours is not over the top complicated.
No.
It has some more pieces than cards, but it's not a behemoth like miniatures game or anything like that. Yeah.
But I did opt to not do a deluxe, and oh, thank you. I did opt to just do. We're gonna bling it out right out of the gate. No stretch goals, not a deluxe. It's just the full deluxeified. This is it version, and that simplified things quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I have to remind people sometimes along the way that nope, that's it. This is the one. Although I did have a retailer tier, which had a couple of folks accidentally back the retailer tier for thinking it was the retail version. Fortunately, one of our very own dear friends did it first, so I could. That was David, and he panicked. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm a dope." I'm like, "No, I probably didn't make it clear. It's fine." So he was my guinea pig,
helping me learn.
So he helped
somebody
me learn,
I know is patient.
Super easy to fix, and so the next time when a backer who didn't know, I was like, I got to look like a pro and be like, "Hey, I can do this in a couple of clicks. You're all set."
So if you're willing to share, what would you say is the big lesson learned from just doing it on your own the first time out?
Oh my goodness. How many
just one? Oh gosh.
Right? What's the biggest? I think, well, right now I'm in the pledge manager phase. So I would have done that a little sooner. One of my greatest mentors in the process has been Shem Phillips, and he does all of his fulfillment stuff. Well, not the fulfillment part, but the pledge manager stuff. He's established all of that stuff. He does himself, and he was like, "You don't have to worry about that until you're ready to ship," kind of thing, which is absolutely true. Except that I wanted to be able to do late pledges and stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh no, I really should have done this part sooner." Because I'm new. So it still has rolled out brilliantly. It's still, yeah.
Okay.
That was something a process I would have started quite a bit sooner. I was still able to get it launched, and it's going really well, and I'm really happy with its pledge manager, who works well with Kickstarter, and they've been super helpful. And like I said, it's a couple of clicks to fix anything or to add to folks and stuff. Like one of the content creators who backed the game, I wanted to add a free copy for them as a giveaway, or to use. She's a teacher, so she could take it to school or whatever she wanted to do. So they've been really helpful in learning all of that good stuff. So
you said pledge manager. Did you? That I don't think that's a brand name unless I'm missing something.
It is.
It is.
It's all run together. Capital P, capital M. Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, and Nicole Amato referred me.
Okay. Awesome.
To them. So and they're connected to it's Pledge Manager by KickTrack.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So, and they're sort of affiliated with Kickstarter, sort of the certainly the referral.
It's one you can expect to be easy to integrate with Kickstarter, and that would be why Nicole pointed you that way, probably.
Yeah, well, they do it. It's very hands-on customer service, which was great at that time, since I was doing it later and I had my hands full with other sorts of campaign and post-campaign things. Awesome. It was great to largely turn over a lot of stuff to them, although I got to play test stuff or not play test, but look at that default. I got to test stuff before it launched to make sure that it was correct and complete and would be a good user experience and all that sort of thing. So,
awesome.
So Yeah, it's been great. And then I hit the button and had no idea that a bunch of people would upgrade and stuff. So so that was kind of exciting to watch. It was almost a whole nother watch the ticker moment.
It's interesting that when I see people get to the Kickstarter moment and a lot of emotional energy and everything has been put into, can I fund this? And there's a question mark until it happens. And then it's not over at all. Like there's a ton more work left to do, a ton more stuff left to see happen. It's really like that moment when it comes into the backer's hand that's the true finish line, even though it's generally not the one you're focusing on before the campaign. Totally.
Yeah, and it was hard for me to own. I can't remember if we talked about this, Heather, or not, but I talked to several people who, when it funded in the first 48 hours, and people were congratulating me. My phone's blowing up, my emails, but I hadn't owned it yet. And my description was, you ever plan a vacation and you haven't gone yet. You've got all this stuff. It's all worked out. You've got the tickets and you know where you're going to be and all that good stuff, but it doesn't feel like it's real yet. And then you're on the plane and you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's real. Then the plane takes off and it's like, oh, I'm on vacation. Like I finally feel it. So I was like, I'm still not even on the plane. Everybody's congratulating me. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not even on the plane yet. It doesn't feel real yet. So it definitely did by the end. And when the family stood around, I didn't realize that on Kickstarter, it's days left. I haven't ever noticed. And then I guess I have noticed hours left. But then it goes to minutes, and then it does like a countdown. So the family gathered around. We did a little countdown around the computer, and then it felt real. And then we got to go out to dinner and celebrate. So
yeah, that's awesome that it was something that your whole family was rooting for you. That's awesome. Love that.
Yeah. Well, and since I've told the story a million times, but so you probably heard it, but it was inspired by homeschooling Riley, my son. He's been a key play tester, and was very much done hoping to be a family game and played with my family. And so, yeah, they definitely were super supportive and invested and tolerated me being absent, even though I was right in the room sometimes while I was working on it, especially as the Kickstarter geared up to launch and all that. There was a lot of work to do then too. I think earlier, I could have just said start earlier for lots of things, even though I've been working on this so long.
Yeah.
It just feels like so much rolls up before you launch. It's like, oh, maybe I should have done that sooner. Maybe I should have done that sooner. Should I be doing this right now? It's time to do it. And then you hit the button.
So many pieces, so much advice from different people, so many decisions to make. It's a lot. Totally.
Yeah.
So it's brave. I'm proud, so super proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to do you proud.
Well, you succeeded. That's awesome. Thank you. We didn't talk much about Protospiel with you, but this is something I know a lot of people are really curious to hear how it went for you and what you'd say about it. So that's
it was
okay.
Interesting. This last Protospiel, was very interesting because that was a lot of my questions were about running the Kickstarter and what do you do, and I'm super open to those questions. I've been that person, so so it's time to pay it forward in any way I can. So yeah,
sweet. Well, yeah, thanks for joining us, and I think it's bonkers that this is the first time you joined us. We finally did it. We made it happen. It was good timing because we get to hear the story that way. Yeah,
that's true. I get to show off a little bit and have my game behind me.
Yeah.
I think it's making everybody really jealous that there's a copy of it, like one of the few physical copies of it that exists in the world is like on camera. Like it was like on camera the entire weekend. I was like,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you buy a Ferrari, you want people to see your Ferrari. That's just the thing. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
And Jamie was fully unfazed because Jamie, I sent Jamie one of the copies after content creators were done in the US. And so Jamie's got to play it live.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty wonderful to get it out of the box.
Well,
I had such a moment when I first got the prototype out and was like, that's when the bling decision happened. I got it out and I'm like, look at these dual layer boards. Oh, look at these little wooden tokens. You know,
right.
they have to go in the box. They have to. They have to.
I guess you don't ask, you
absolutely.
don't get, David.
Well, I mean, I figured I'd backed it, so I wasn't going to ask for free stuff. It's already no.
I might have another copy floating around the U.S.
No.
I
I will wait patiently for. You already did enough after I claimed I was a retailer when I.
I'm waiting for your store with the. You already have the adorable little logo. The little.
My shop.
Right. Round boy games.
My little round boy.
Games.
Round boy games. Oh gosh,
I'd buy a bunch of games from that guy.
I absolutely do not need to be starting a game store right now. No way.
You don't have enough on your plate, you sure?
No. Y'all, should we spin the wheel names one more time?
Let's do
That's
it.
a great idea. Let's do the thing.
It's a shared honor.
Here it is. All right. One more time. One more time for the road. This is again for a $40 Protospiel Online gift card. On 3, 2, 1.
Technically on 1. You got to tell people before you do this.
I'm sorry.
It's more ergonomic when we do it the right way. Steve!
Wonderful.
Yeah, Steve is our friend from Building the Game Discord. Comes to those check-ins. So exciting to see you winning something. Good job, Steve.
Yes. Wonderful stuff. Yeah, Kirsten, before we say goodbye, how might one find you on the internet? And if people want to get in on some Ovation action, is it too late for them to jump in the Pledge Manager? Is that closed? Are people still?
Not. People can still late pledge for Ovation. Although I'm certain so many of us and so many of you wonderful Protospiel Online folks, I know you're already on the list. I've seen you. But yes, indeed, you can click right from the Kickstarter, which is Ovation. And then you can also get to it via my website, which is lookingglassworkshop.com. And then I'm on the socials as Looking Glass WS, at Looking Glass WS, in just about all the places now. I think not Threads, everywhere else. I'm trying to adjust to the new places. It feels like a lot. I feel like a dinosaur every time I have. It's like, wait, this is a new one.
You're not alone.
No, it's exhausting.
Yeah. We were talking about how everybody makes fun of me for not being very online, for an online business owner and an online convention runner, never getting anything that anybody is talking about. But yeah, I have been feeling, this is like Bluesky is like Twitter, but all the buttons are in different places, and it's really harsh in my mellow. It's frustrating.
And I went on Mastodon, and then someone's like, "Don't use the Mastodon app. Use the other one." I'm like, "Okay, what's the other one?" And then I've downloaded the other. I haven't learned the other one.
Which other one? Which other one? You got to pick which other one you're using.
I don't know. I haven't even tried to open it yet. That just broke my brain right from Jump Street. It was like you have some other app that's not the app, and
Yeah, I think it's Protospiel is this way too. Don't focus on the fact that you're not good enough because you can't do that. Let's jump in on the pool together and be like, this sucks for all of us. This is hard for all of us.
Protospiel Online. This sucks for all of us. That's wonderful tagline. Join us in January.
We need a theme song.
If you know, you don't know. It's not.
Is that what we're replacing? Like, people make the playtests? This sucks for all of us.
I did make a little doodle of Protospiel. That sometimes, basically, like parts everywhere. You know what I mean? I never quite got around to actually making that into any kind of swag, though. It's a
Amazing.
yeah. Yes, it's true. Bible thump. Bible thump tears. Let's like Bible
Cheer.
thump is cry face.
Why
I think
is that crying?
it's so funny that it like that's the every time that one throws me.
Yep, it's true. That's awesome. Well, are we gonna say goodbye, just the three of us? I'm not sure. Are we gonna say goodbye?
We can say goodbye with all of us. We could say goodbye with just the three hosts. However we want to do it. I think on the thing we have it that we're saying goodbye to Kirsten first, so she can fully wake up, because it's what, like 7:30, 8:30,
8:30, almost 8:30.
Okay.
Yeah, not the crack of dawn.
I'm alive. I had some
Anyway.
caffeine. I'm
Yeah.
good.
That's why you're at the end here.
It's
So.
gonna be the women innovators that I'm gonna be up at 2:00 in the morning for.
Oh yeah. Oh, and
conference.
thank you for
You guys didn't
reminding
do that
me.
to me, so thank you.
Yeah, that was something we had in our swag bag, and you're reminding me again of sponsors. So let's say goodbye to Kirsten, so we can say hi to our sponsors real quick before we say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Always a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.
Here, I'll I think I can take care of it.
What is happening?
What we're
my God. Okay.
Do you want me to share our screen? Because I'm sorry, this was the very last minute thing that is not David's fault, my fault. We both make mistakes.
This one is not my fault.
Right. But I thought of it like 30 times and forgot about it immediately. Every time I thought of it is I want to say hi to them before we go. So I'll get them queued up from the web.
We're going to get this across the finish line before the ship sinks all the way into the water.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes. So this was our first Protospiel Online with our sponsors. And we were mentioning Sabrina, that's Ludo Liminal, coming up with a Kickstarter soon. But so our very first time sponsors, we have, I think Zoe's in the chat, Knife Bunny. Thank you to all of them. Many of our moderators and longtime partners are in here. And so Nicole Amato was mentioned from Kickstarter. That's somebody that's been one of our special guests in the past, and it's great to have Kickstarter on board too. So this will be a work in progress. All of our sponsors joining us, but thank you one more time to them as we kind of say goodbye to the August session, and we'll be starting up January sponsors pretty soon. So thanks very much for all of your support. Awesome. And thank you, Chris, for always bringing the fun to our live streams. David and I tease that like our least favorite kind of thing to do is perform, and so you help us.
Always glad to bring the fun in scare quotes. We didn't have one that nobody solved, and that's a victory for me. So that's we got through it. Always a pleasure to come on. Protospiel is an amazing program. It's really helping to just build this next generation of designers and give a place for anybody to do that. And it's a mission that I very much support and appreciate. So it's always a pleasure to be part of this universe.
Thank you. Yeah, we love to have you. And thank you, David, for running the wheel. That part went great. Beautiful wheel.
Yeah, really good wheel. Beautiful gowns. Mostly thriving.
Mostly thriving.
Mostly thriving.
Yes. Who could ask for anything more?
Who could?
Not one person. Nobody.
No one should.
All right. Well, thanks everybody very much. It was good to be with you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.